but we are talking about our journey with the plant-based life, and today's really exciting. I'm excited. I hope you're excited, Kendall.
I honestly am kind of going into this blind, so this is going to be an adventure. Like there's apparently a pop quiz in here at some point for me that I'm gonna do, and
Yes,
yeah, so I'm excited for
we are
today.
going to test Kendall's knowledge because I mean she blew my mind last time, so now I'm like, well, let's test her. So let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna give you guys a quick overview, and Kendall, I'm sure you'll have questions, but I'm doing this forks over knives cooking course. And guys, if you're seeing us the first time, and hello Facebook, YouTube, everybody, whether you're on my wall or Kendall's wall, make sure you like us, follow us, just do all that good kind of stuff, and leave us a comment because we love it. We can see your comments if you're seeing us live too, so that'll be fun.
Yes.
But we are documenting kind of our journey and discussing all things plant-based life, and it's a journey, and we're having fun, and we love talking about it because we're passionate about it, because we've seen incredible results in each of our lives in very different ways. So, but we're not going to get on a sidetrack. We're going to go right to the forks over knives cooking course. My wife got it for me for Christmas, so I
Oh,
want to share it with you guys and give you a little bit of a look into what it looks like. I'm trying to find the best way to show it. I guess it's going to be, where's Kindle?
and I keep hopping
Oh
around.
gosh, this is going to be the best episode ever. Okay, that's the one I was looking for, I think.
I love it.
Nope. Okay, this one. Whatever. Who cares? All right. So, forks over knives cooking course, the ultimate cooking course. And here's the deal. Let me show you guys this here because it is super. I'm really enjoying it. I'm only 19% into it right now, but I just want to scroll down and let you guys kind of see what you do in this course. All right. So basically, there's some welcoming and how to use the course. It also goes over like the lifestyle section, like what is plant based? Why be plant based? Why be whole food? And I have to take a test on this, guys. So I figure I'd have Kindle take the practice test. Maybe we should have Kindle take the real test.
I know.
I'm
I
getting
feel
credit
like
for it.
this is this like getting like your buddy in school to do the test for you, like so you can pass?
Maybe. Well, the best way to do that is to trick your buddy. So maybe I'm tricking you.
Well, if you
All
make
right.
me
So,
food, then if you make me food, it'll be worth it. So,
oh, wait till you see what I cooked today. I'm going to show you a picture. And
oh wow.
so they already had us like set up our kitchen. We talked about knives and cooking and getting the refrigerator right and all these tools, learning how to do knife cuts. I've had to submit videos of me doing stuff like this, like using the proper techniques. And then we're getting into cooking methods, how to steam, how to cook without oil, um, pressure cookers, submersion, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. It looks like Task 58 is a no oil saute, pan tossing, caramelizing, you name it. I'm just going to skip right to it and tell you guys I highly recommend this course. If you're into cooking and you love it, I'm just finding it very inspirational. I kind of already am into cooking. I watch MasterChef and I've always experimented, but I've never taken like an official course. So I'm really loving it. What do
You know
do
what?
you cook a lot?
Oh, well, you know what's fun is I actually grew up watching all these cooking shows too. Like I loved Iron Chef. Loved it. I
Mm.
wanted to know what they're bringing on, what random thing was going to be in a box, how they're going to prepare it, how are they going to combine all the flavors. But what I will say that's been really interesting with moving into a whole food plant-based diet is I think I've had to take it in stages because coming from like an addictive background around food, I went from being somebody who had to make every single meal this over the top expression with tons of
Wow.
flavor, so much, even just preparation and work that went into it, where it's almost like I had to just learn the foundations of like cooking without oil, sauteing my food. What are the foundational foods? Breaking up with some addictive food behaviors, making my food taste good, but not over the top. But kind of like where you're at too, I'm kind of like stepping my toe into adding in more variety. Like I love like when I like the idea of being somebody like if I have friends come over, I can be like, hang on guys, I'm about to make some like food magic happen, and just like bust out a meal, make it look amazing, and then not even have to call it whole food plant based and still have people who eat meat
Yeah.
still love it. People who love cheese love, not even have to call it whole food plant based. What about you? What's your goal?
Well, in a similar way, I had a weird relationship with food. I was always struggling with my weight. Then I ended up with heart disease. So I was into like pizza and chicken wings, but kind of sort of cooking healthy and eating healthy as well. But I just don't want my life to be kind of like focused on that. But at the same time, I want to eat good, healthy food. You know what I mean? I do love food. So I've been kind of going on a journey, like taking this course, collecting really good cookbooks. Here's a good one. You said this is Carly Bojug's Plant You cookbook. It's a New York Times bestseller. What?
I need to try this book out because I actually started following her on Instagram. She is, if you guys are
Yeah,
not
she's on
following her
Insta.
yet, she is so cute and so spunky and fun. She will take
Oh, really?
crazy things. Like, I didn't know you could take chickpea juice, the aquafaba juice, and turn it into marshmallows.
What?
She does that. Yes, I know. I was like, I have to try this at some point.
Well, let me tell you. Let me bring you on my little story of what I went through. Not went through, but what I've been working on. So I love cooking, and I used her book today. After I did my Forks Over Knives cooking lesson today, I was like, "Oh, let me do some cooking." So, I had some tofu in the house, and this is the I love this tofu at our grocery store. It's super firm, so you don't have to press it and worry about any of that, and it works really great.
Maybe
It's
Deb,
very much
give them an example. What different types of tofu are out there for new tofu friends?
okay. Tofu friends. Most people, like even my wife, she struggles with tofu. She doesn't like it. But and I'm just convinced. I wish she would just try every tofu I make because she will like today. It would have been amazing, but you'll see. I'm going to show you pictures. But so it goes from like different levels of firmness, everything from like liquefied tofu to soft to firm, and then there's like super firm, and it's just a matter of. I mean, tofu is literally just soybeans and it's just a matter of how much they press the liquid out of it. And if you do get like a medium firm tofu and it's kind of like too spongy and too mushy, you can still like put it under some paper towels under it, put some on top, and then put like like a pot or a big box or something and squish it down for a while. I actually have a tofu press I got on Amazon, but I don't need it anymore because I get my super firm tofu. You
Yeah.
do the similar stuff?
Man, I'm like a all in on the super firm tofu. And I learned too the different amounts of like density to the tofu actually increases the protein. So the super firm is the most protein dense tofu you can get.
Wow. So the super firm, this has 14 grams of protein in the serving here.
And
But let
let's
me show you what else I got. I happened to go to a Chinese market and look what I got. Try
Whoa.
and read that back.
Do you read Chinese?
Yeah, good luck on that. This is legit tofu here. This is like, I'm bringing out the big guns here. Okay, this is like actually imported from it's from Taiwan, not from China. But I think I might have recorded the back of it too. Oh, not on this video. So we haven't seen the nutrition label, but I will say this that it has less fat, 4 grams of fat instead of 7 in the American tofu. But this did have like 200 grams of salt, whereas this or milligrams, and this only has 10 milligrams in the American version. And but look at the difference in how they look. That's the American on the right. And that has a little bit of brown on it because I put some tamari on it just to get some flavor. Because I figured if I was going to do an A/B test, I figured if this brown stuff here is what came from Taiwan, I want to kind of try to get some of the real flavors going. So that's what I
Definitely.
used. And I went into the Plant You cookbook and I found this recipe here. Let me zoom in so we can see a little bit. It's called ginger garlic nudes.
What? Ginger garlic nudes?
Nudes like noodles, not
Nu-
nudes like.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm totally gonna start calling noodles nudes. That's adorable.
Hey guys, let's have some nudes.
Nudes for
Anyway, so it's let's talk about some ingredients here. What do you should we look at the pictures or should we look at the list? What do you
Why don't
prefer?
you show us? I would love to see what the dish turns out to look like. I'm such a visual person.
That's
Oh,
my
there we
dish.
go. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, that looks
But
delicious.
this is what your Insta buddy was said it would look like.
Hey, I mean,
I
you're
kind of like mine.
yeah, the plating is really beautiful on yours.
Well, I watch a lot of Master Chef, and Gordon Ramsay would not tolerate her plating. They
So
would
tell
they would
me,
call it all kinds of names.
so tell me your perspective. Do you think it's important to plate beautiful food for your life experience?
Well, I thought about bringing some on live here and just talking about it right now, but I had already plated it, and everything that was left in the pot, I had thrown the rest of the onions on there. By the way, those onions I grew them. The green onions are off the Tower Garden. I grew those, and
Yeah.
the I didn't use a regular head of cabbage. I used Chinese cabbage from my Tower Garden, which I also grew in this dish. So that's pretty cool. But what was the question? Oh, it was about plating. Yeah, because what's left in the pan just looks like a big mess, And then even if you try to plate it, you have to plate it in layers. First I did the noodles mixed in with all the veggies and the stir fry. Then I sprinkled on some of those black sesame seeds. You see them in there a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that is the Chinese tofu, which I did air fry for about 10 minutes. It was definitely a little too long based on how firm it was, but it was really chewy. I mean, it looks like steak, like
It
square
does.
steak, doesn't it?
It totally looks like steak on there. And I think too, don't you like love your air fryer? Like that changes all tofu, flavor, texture, everything.
It's amazing. I literally just put tamari on it and I just air fried it, and mine was delicious. But for the picture, I wanted to go with the Chinese tofu just because I knew I probably wasn't going to go back and get it. It just had a little, there was this, it did have this one taste that I can't figure out that lingered afterward that was very authentic. I did go to Taiwan for 10 days once on like a music missions trip. And
Ah,
the flavors that and the smells in the grocery stores there is very unique. You don't smell it very many places in America. But there was a nice lingering, like a sesame, kind of a ginger flavor.
mm.
But overall, this is I thought it was a pretty healthy dish. If we look at some of these ingredients, I
Yeah,
mean, they're all life-giving. And I don't know if it's going to be clear enough. I mean, we got brown rice noodles, um, fresh ginger. I just minced it up as small as I can, a bunch of garlic. Oh, let's go to the list because it tells you how much is in each one of them.
so
1 inch
how,
of ginger.
how much
What?
time did it take you to do this recipe? Because I bet people who are watching are like, oh, that looks really good. What's the time commitment?
Well, she claims it's about a 25-minute dish. I'd say it's about accurate.
Okay. Oh, that's not
You
long at
know
all.
that, and one thing I have learned, and I sometimes did this, but not always. If you start cooking and it's like a disaster in the kitchen and it's hard to stay organized and your timing isn't right, there's this concept that I should know the name of it. It's a French word where you prep everything and put it in little dishes and get it all ready, and then you cook. And when you do that, if somebody knows it, put it in the chat for me. But that's what I did here. If you put the water on to boil for the noodles, and then just start prepping all of your ingredients, because your ginger and your garlic has to all be chopped. Then I pick out my stuff off the Tower Garden. I got some Chinese cabbage. I sliced it up pretty small. one medium onion sliced into like long strips. And then this little bit of stuff, if you look at your directions too, I noticed that there's like a cornstarch and warm water. That's a nice cooking technique for
Mm.
just thickening. Well, so if you ended up with a real watery dish and you're like, this isn't going to work, you have this cornstarch and water that you can put in there that thickens it a little bit. The apple cider vinegar broth and tamari, I can just mix those in one little container. And then when it's time to put it in, boom, it's in. You're not measuring or doing any of that. So it made it really, really, really super easy. For the 3 hot chili peppers, I did. I have this big bag of like the dried Mexican chilies. I actually used that in there, and it was super good. It was
Nice.
super good.
It's so fun. I
Yeah, so
think,
I was really happy.
yeah, the whole part about like cooking with whole food ingredients, the fun for me is honestly the whole process, like either going to a farmer's market or to an Asian market or to, we have H Mart that's not too far from us. And just the like, that to me is the whole enjoyment of cooking or growing your own food, like going out to the Tower Garden and literally getting to pick it. Like
Oh,
that just like makes, that's like such a next level experience with the whole process.
well, and it's another thing that's cool when you have a tower garden is, yeah, I skipped this completely. So I was working on my cooking class this morning. I was doing some cutting exercises and submitting my homework and all that. But then I'm like, okay, I want to cook something today because I've been forcing myself to cook dishes because as you were saying earlier, your relationship with food has changed. So has mine. But I'll tend to just go really simple. Like I'll just make hummus, and that'll last me 2 or 3 days, and I could just eat hummus and carrots for days, and I'm happy. But it's not really giving me the full variety of the nutrients that would benefit me the most. So I'm kind of forcing myself to cook dishes that will give me a lot of variety in them with a couple of different vegetables and different protein sources and things like that. But starting with what are my ingredients? You know, if you don't have a tower garden, you would look in the refrigerator to see what you have. But when you have a tower garden, you go outside and you're like, oh man, this Chinese cabbage, I really want to finish using this. And oh, look at these green onions, they're getting huge. Let me cut some off. So now I have cabbage and green onions, and I can, I already have pages turned over in the book. You know, every once in a while, if I'm just bored, I'll just say, oh, let me cook this butternut squash soup someday and then fold it over. And
Mhm.
eventually I'll get there. But yeah, it's amazing just being able to use those fresh ingredients from the tower garden. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
the best.
Give us for people who are curious about the forks over knives cooking course, like how much does it cost and what's the time commitment like, and are you on your own pace?
Okay, yes. Man, those are good questions. All right, so it's about $150. They have a really simple one that's just very entry level, but I looked at the curriculum and it seemed a lot of like just basic education, like we're giving you guys here about whole food plant based. This they what's it called? Rooksbe, Rouxbe. It's kind of like the world's biggest cooking education website. That's who they partnered with. So it's a very good curriculum. It's very in depth. It's about a 3 month long course, and
Wow.
you are self guided. You're on self paced, but you can see other people's homework that they're submitting, and they do. If you get behind, they will say, "Hey, you need to get going here." But it's very extensive. It's going to go through lots of different cooking techniques, things that you could probably watch YouTube and figure some of it out, but it's like anything else. You could probably watch YouTube and figure out how to play the drums, but if you take lessons from me, you're going to learn a lot faster and you're going to learn the right things because you don't always know what the source is out there.
Mm-hmm. That is,
I want to jump into your quiz. I'm
let's
feeling your quiz
do it.
coming on.
I'm nervous. I hope I
All right,
pass.
here we go. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat because we love them. All right.
Okay.
You going to be able to read this?
I'm not going to be able to read it because I'm on my phone. So if you want to,
Okay.
I'm going to sit here and you can read them to me and I'll answer it back.
All right, question 1, and you guys can follow along. If you want to answer in the chat, you can do that too. Refined food products are not the best food choice because A, they can cause inflammation in the body. B, they can create blood sugar imbalances in the body. C, they promote immunity. Or A and B.
I'm
Inflammation and blood sugar imbalance.
I'm gonna go with A and B.
Hold on.
Is that an option?
Veronica, was that for us? I think she sent a message to somebody else. Yes, I think you're going to be correct. Let's do it.
Okay.
Grade it. Correct. All
Ah,
right,
oh,
next
I can
one.
see comments too. I see it.
All
Okay.
right, we can talk about this too. In relation to diet and how most people in North America eat, the acronym SAD stands for what?
Ooh, I know this one. Sad
Um,
American Diet.
Standard American diet. I don't even have to read her the questions. Correct.
Yay!
Isn't it kind of fun? And it's kind of funny that I love that acronym, that it's SAD. The standard American diet is SAD.
That one's an easy one to
Oh,
remember. Yeah.
I know. That's an easy question, too. These are pretty easy. The SAD diet is filled with processed and refined food products. True or false?
True. Very true.
It's very true, and that is correct. And Kendall, why is that a problem?
Oh man, I mean, I could go on, but when we sit down to eat our food should be alive. And when it's not living, we're not feeding our cells the nutrients that our cells need. And so we're giving ourselves all this artificial food, and our cells are not able to duplicate and create life and longevity and health. So there's a really good one that we did a podcast with Jamie Rutledge, and she would be a perfect one to listen to, talking
Yeah.
about nutrition, how your body processes food. She goes way in depth on that.
Yes. Well, and this next question is gives another answer to what I just followed up with you. Is what has been the effect of the standard American diet? A, an increase in health and vitality of the North American population, or B, childhood obesity. Oh, or B, childhood obesity has decreased, or weight gain, blood sugar issues, reduced immunity, and chronic disease.
Ding, ding, ding. I think we can all agree that that's the answer, the
Right.
last one.
We're seeing the pattern here, guys. Let's go a little quicker. Oh, look at this. What do medical research findings indicate with regard to plant-based diets? There's no differences, or balanced plant-based diets, but especially whole food plant-based diets, may provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of some diseases. Or any plant-based diet can provide optimal nutrition for people. Or children and pregnant people should avoid a plant-based diet.
Ooh. Yeah, we should go with the second one.
Yeah, we're gonna go with B.
Yeah. Because I think we
And
all know the vegan or the vegetarian that's still eating just only Oreos and cereal.
exactly.
Yeah. Just
Man,
because it's
that's even worse than the example. I like to call them tater tot vegetarians. And if my nephew's on, I love you, David, but he was a vegetarian for years, maybe a vegan. And the thing is, you would go over to his, visit him, and he'd be like having tater tots for dinner. And
yeah.
it's like, French fries. I mean, let's think of what are all let's for fun say a few bad things you can have as a vegetarian. Tater tots,
Peanut butter
French
jelly
fries,
sandwiches. Yeah.
pizza.
You can totally do pizza, cheese pizza too.
Yep. You can do mozzarella sticks fried.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Lots
say
of
that you could
carbs.
literally kill yourself on a vegetarian diet.
Yes, that's a good that's a Doug quote right there. That's good.
How about that? All right. One more for you. That's all we're going to do. One more. Um, here we go. A whole food plant-based diet includes all of the following except, okay? So fruits, vegetables, eggs, if they're organic, whole grains or legumes.
Eggs.
Eggs.
Even if
I
they're
think
organic. I like how they
correct.
add that on there.
Yes, and this would be a good time as we kind of land the plane here that we should clarify like what is whole food plant based. Like I guess it's technically vegan. I mean, there's a weird, not weird, but there's other things that go along with veganism that we're not really just dealing with on this podcast. Things about about animals and kindness and things like that. Um, but also, I don't know about you, Kindle, but have you ever noticed this? Like when you tell people you're vegetarian, they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't eat meat either. I mean, I have like maybe 3 times a month I have salmon."
Right.
And
Right.
and that's where I think I might respond like this.
Or I don't
I don't
eat
even know what to say.
That's the big one I hear. Oh yeah, me too. I don't eat red meat. You ever hear that
I
one?
know. So if you eat fish, you're still a meat eater. I hate to maybe you're a vegetarian. Okay, I was like, I can't believe I've been saving this joke.
Oh my gosh. This is
That
too
joke.
good.
Hey, listen, that joke. I have to give credit to Jonathan Clark, who is our podcast music composer that I was telling you
Wow.
about. Hopefully, he'll be writing us some music, a theme song.
Wow.
But
I feel like
yeah,
that would be the great
vegetarian.
title for like an odd punk band, the Vegetarians.
Well, so the definition of what we're talking about with whole food plant based is eating whole foods and plants and only plant. I mean, how do you define it? Things that come from the earth, the ground.
Yeah,
Hey, we have a lot of people watching. We have like 6 people on right now. Give us a comment. This is our most ever watching the live stream. So like, give us a shout out. Otherwise, we're gonna just shut it down. Actually, we're gonna shut it down anyway. We're gonna
it's
shut it
going
down
down.
anyway. All
Yeah.
right. So, hey guys, we're also looking for more topic ideas. We hope this was helpful for you this week. It was a little bit lighter. We got to see that Kindle knows everything, just as I suspected. Um, we got to see that the Forks Over Knives cooking course is awesome. And I think the new magazine of Forks Over Knives might be the spring issues coming out on the newsstands anytime in your local grocery store. If you don't know what we're talking about, check it out. Watch the documentary. Yes, Lori Palmer or Lloyd Palmer. Lloyd Palmer.
Oh,
Oh, that's your
Mom's
mom.
on there. Mom.
Hi, mom. Yes, that's a great documentary on Netflix called Forks Over Knives. And then they have a magazine, they have a website. I just gave you a little review of their cooking course. They really are doing a lot of good for a lot of people. So that's why we have no problem endorsing them. And hopefully someday they'll endorse us right back with a little sponsorship or something. But we'll see about that. All
And I
right,
think what
Kindle, give us some words of wisdom and tie this all up together and sprinkle your magic plant powder dust on this thing.
I love it. Thank you so much, Doug. I really hope you guys got a bunch of great resources from this, and maybe some of you who are inspired and excited about cooking will reach out and start maybe doing the cooking course. It's a great gift idea, too. And we will put all the different links in there. Is it possible to put the quiz onto our information
No,
too?
this is part of my course, so I
I
can't do the quiz.
was. Okay.
Yeah, she was doing my homework. She didn't know it. Hey, Ava asked, "What's the best way to move toward a plant-based diet?" I'm kind of outspoken about what I think. What do you think, Kendall?
I think just start with one meal a day, like what can you do today? And you actually, or even start with one maybe meatless Mondays. Get a really
Ah,
good cookbook, try Plant You, start trying out some things that are fun. Maybe throw some tofu in to this week just to see what it's explore. Don't put all this pressure on yourself to have to switch overnight if it's not like for a drastic health reason. But if you think it could be beneficial, which we really strongly do believe it's very beneficial, then start just by having fun. Add some new recipes.
I think it's not a bad idea too, especially for a person that is a little nervous about going plant-based, to not worry about the no oil at first. Like maybe just find some vegetarian recipes that look good and just cook. Just cook. I mean, if you go to Forks Over Knives, or if you go to Plant U, and it's at Plant U on Instagram is Carly's her account. I mean, they're all going to be no oil, but that's okay. It's still delicious. This was out of this world. Yes, slow and steady will make it easier. Yes, Ava. And of course, Ava, you can always, you can just come to my house. So when we have events, we're going to have an event soon, and you'll get to try some more of my cooking. All right. So, guys, thanks for watching. Until next week, we're excited. You keep it healthy. Find something. Keep it healthy. All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.